Assalamu alaikum, dear all students, my dear friends. This is me Rasif and you are watching AirNet Study Hub. Today we will be discussing about the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. As we are continuing our cardiovascular system, last time we have discussed about the anatomy of cardiovascular system. If you remember the last lecture, cardiovascular system is a transport system which transports nutrients, hormones, glucose, amino acids to the different tissues of the body, and from tissues it will take the metabolic wastes and carbon dioxide from the tissues and it will drain into the caval system. Then from caval system, this is your inferior vena cava and this is your superior vena cava. Both inferior vena cava and superior vena cava will drain blood into right atrium. Then from blood will move from right atrium and it will pass through the tricuspid valve. It will pass through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. From right ventricle, blood will pass through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery. Then pulmonary artery will bifurcate here. One branch will go into the left lung and one branch will go into the right lung. Then pulmonary artery will divide into pulmonary arterioles, and eventually the pulmonary arterioles will break down into pulmonary capillaries here, where the gas exchange will occur here. This is suppose your air pocket. From here the oxygen will shift from air pockets into the capillaries and the carbon dioxide will shift from capillaries into the air pockets. Okay, then the oxygenated rich blood will pass from capillaries into the pulmonary veins. So there are 4 pulmonary veins which will 2 from each lung will come out and 4 pulmonary veins will drain into the left atrium. Then, so that means this is the oxygenated rich blood which has come into the left atrium. Primarily, there are 2 types of circulation. One is pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation will start from right ventricle and it will eject the deoxygenated blood into pulmonary artery, and here the gas exchange will occur. Then from lungs the oxygenated rich blood will come out and it will drain into the left atrium. Then from left atrium oxygenated rich blood will pass through the mitral valve. Oxygenated rich blood will pass through the mitral valve and it will drain blood into left ventricle. Then from left ventricle, blood will pass through the aortic valve. Blood will pass through the aortic valve into the aorta. Blood will pass through the aortic valve into aorta. Aorta is a large sized artery, or this is also called a elastic artery. Why this is called a large sized artery or elastic artery? Because its diameter is around more than 1 centimeter. Its diameter is around more than 1 centimeter. Then this large sized artery will drain blood into the medium sized artery. Suppose this is a medium sized artery here. Medium sized artery. Medium sized artery, its diameter is 2 to 10 mm. Its diameter is 2 to 10 mm. Then from medium sized artery, blood will be drained into the arterioles. blood will be drained into the arterioles. Then from arterioles will break down into meta-arterioles. Meta-arterioles. Arteriole diameter is around 0.1 to 0.2 mm. Arteriolar diameter is around 0.1 to 0.2 mm. Then meta-arterioles will break down into the capillaries. These capillaries will perfuse the tissue. Suppose this is a tissue here. Suppose this is a liver tissue or stomach tissue or intestinal tissue, and these are the cells of this tissue. And from the cells, carbon dioxide will shift. Carbon dioxide and other metabolic wastes. Other metabolic wastes will shift from these cells into the capillary system, and from capillaries oxygen will shift. Oxygen will shift into these cells, and if required, the other nutrients, amino acids, hormones, glucose, whatever is required for the tissue, that will shift from the capillary system. Then once this capillary will take the carbon dioxide and metabolic wastes from these cells, then it will drain that metabolic wastes and deoxygenated blood into the venules. Then from venules, the blood will pass into the small veins. Blood will pass into the small veins. Then from small veins, blood will pass into the large veins. Blood will pass into the large veins. From the large veins, blood will pass into the caval system. Blood will pass into the caval system, or in inferior vena cava or in superior vena cava. Then from inferior vena cava and superior vena cava, blood will again come into the right atrium. Okay, so we have discussed again from right atrium it will come into the right ventricle, then again it will go into the pulmonary system. We have discussed two, pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation will start from right ventricle to left atrium. Systemic circulation will start from left ventricle, then into the aorta, then into the large sized artery, then into the medium sized arteries, then arterioles, then meta-arterioles, then into the capillary system, then into the small veins, large veins, inferior vena cava and right atrium. So this is systemic circulation. Again, what is the real difference in between the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation? Pulmonary circulation is a smaller circulation and systemic circulation is a large circulation. Pulmonary circulation is a low pressure circulation and systemic circulation is high pressure circulation. Pulmonary circulation involves lungs only, but systemic circulation will involve multi-organs. Systemic circulation will involve multi-organs. In pulmonary circulation, deoxygenated pulmonary arteries will carry deoxygenated blood and pulmonary veins will carry oxygenated blood. But in systemic circulation, arteries will carry oxygenated blood and veins will carry deoxygenated blood. So this is a real difference between pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. I hope you all understood. If you have any doubts regarding the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation, you can comment me in the comment section box. I will answer there or I will clear the doubts there. So next we will have a discussion about the histology of heart and the histology of vascular system. Till that, Allah Hafiz.